Alright guys, this video is going to go through how we wire up our motor with a transistor. So this one's a 2N2222 transistor that we're going to go through and wire up to be able to be controlled through pin 4 and turn our, in this case, just a little coreless motor. It could be any motor that takes less than 600 milliamps. So this one should draw about 200 milliamps to be able to spin our fan for our task. So if we have a look what I've got my transistor. You can see if you look very closely on the surface, you can actually see what it is. I've got a 68 ohm resistor. Now depending on what resistor I use with my transistor is how much current it lets through. So I've got quite a small one because I want to get pretty much all I can get through the battery for that. I've got my terminal block. I've already attached that to my motor. Now you may need to flip these over depending which way you need the motor to spin. I have my diode. I have my 100 microfarad capacitor to help just keep the fluctuations out of the current. And I've got my battery clip ready to go, already in a terminal block as well. So that's all the pieces I need along with my wires. So I'm going to start by getting my battery clip connected. So I'm going to go, this doesn't quite go how it normally needs to, but I can get him to go across from a positive to a negative to be able to join in here. So I'm going to go, I've got my positive on that side, so make sure he's going in to my terminal through there. Now if you find that those pins start pushing down, you can always just give them a little bit of a encourage, and that's going to go in just like that. So he's in, connected. I can ignore him for the moment. The next one I'm going to do is this guy will be going on in those last two over here. So if you're looking at the numbers on the side, it's 30 and 28, and in the center, so that H1, so I've got a spot on either side. I'm going to leave him out for the moment just because it gives me a little bit more space to work with. He kind of congests things up. Now my transistor I'm going to put in first. He's going to go in the center over here and 3 pins across. I've got mine just nice and tight, so there's plenty of space for be able to add my other components later. So he's there ready to go. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add a small one across to attach to where my motor is going to be. So he's going to go from, I'm actually going to use that one. I'm going to go from here into the positive rail there. If I can push that in. Right, so that goes to there. What I need to be able to do next is I'm going to bring the other side, so it's going to go through the motor, out the other pin, and he's going to go across to a spot over here. So I'm going to bring that right across there, so he's sitting there ready to go. And then my little one is then going to attach and jump across to here. Okay, so he wants to go in there. Again, things start to get a bit congested, so needle nose pliers are always helpful to be able to control that. So you can see I've gone into my collector pin through here. I've got then the last leg that I'm going to have is last little one to be able to close my circuit off. So he's going to go from my emitter pin on the very edge of my transistor, so that last leg there, and he's going to go through to ground. So with this guy in place, he'll sit in there, 1 and 2. It'll have the power come from 5 volt across here into the motor, back out of there into that. So that is the basis of what we're doing. We've got a couple extra bits that we need to add in. So my resistor is going to go in from D4. So pop him in. You might find that you want to shorten this And if you're being really organized, we can actually drop some heat shrink over the edge and shorten those through as well. But I'm going to leave him long for the demonstration because I can then sort of push it out of the way and you can see him fairly easily. So you can see he's gone through there. That's looking good. I'm going to take my capacitor, the long leg, in line. So where I did that little join there is so that I could add my capacitor from the positive leg over to ground. So he's going to go across over there and drop in like that. So again, I'm going to bend him over a little bit so you can see where he's gone. Alright, so that's looking good. And then the last piece is going to be my diode. So my diode is pointing the opposite direction to normal because what we want to do here is my protection for the rest of the circuit. So he's going to go from this third leg here and going back over to positive there, which then allows, when we have a problem, for him to be able to close the circuit and let it dissipate. So what we're going to do from there, is I'm actually going to shorten this guy up a little bit so I can get him in and nice and tight. So I'm just going to cut his legs down a touch. And then he's going to drop in. So he's going to be going in that way. Yeah. This is where we need some littler fingers. 1, 2, there. Pointing towards which way he wants to go, so he's going that way. Let's see if I can actually get this in. Okay, so now I have all of my pieces in place. I'm going to drop this guy back on. He's going to be sitting in that center point there. So if we have a look at what's happening now. So I've got my power coming through. He's going to go through that into my motor, back out the motor, through here. I've got then this guy in parallel, goes into the collector, out the emitter, out to ground. So when I've got a high signal from this resistor here, he goes through to the base and turns it all on. Once it turns off, my little guy here is going to allow it to go through and dissipate until it's closed. So let's have a look at how that would actually look. So I'm going to connect him up to my computer, and then make this a little bit smaller so we can then see. There it is. So I'm going to connect my device through. I've already got him selected. I'm going to let him go through. Make this a little bit smaller so I can see that side. Alright, so that's looking good. He is now bouncing around so I can see my LDR when I cover it. He's working. When I turn my input 3, that's not going to be helpful. Let's minimize that a little bit. Keep going a little bit. So we just have that. So when I turn on 3, you can see my lights turn on, so those bits work. Now what I'm going to do, instead of connecting to a battery over here, which we'll be probably using the 3 panel, I'm going to shortcut and just use my power source, my benchtop power supply. So you can see I've got that connected here. I've got him set at 3 volts, so I'm going to turn that on, and now I'm going to hold my fan. You'll see when I turn 4 on, my fan spins. Turn it off. So there is our circuit. A little bit tricky, but a really nice example of how we use a transistor to manage a higher current than what our Arduino can manage.